There we go. Anyways, with my modifier, what I'm going to do is go on down to the ripple modifier. Remember, these are alphabetical, so that should help you to find stuff in that long old list. And the ripple modifier can do some pretty cool stuff. So for instance, I can take the amplitude, and go up, and you can see how that's starting to move that. So I'll make that amplitude of, I don't know, let's say 1. So that's 1 foot. Okay, and the amplitude 2 will also make that 1. Okay, so we get something like that. Pretty cool. And then the wavelength, we can mess with that. Alright, I think I'm just going to leave it where it's at for right now. What the heck. And then the phase. And you can see that that's going to move it along that wavelength and all that kind of good stuff. Okay. And I'm just going to leave that at 0 as well for right now. Alrighty. So anyways, with my timeline, I'm just going to set that to 0. Just a good starting point. Doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go back up here to this track view. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just go this way right here. Come on. And all the way down till you'll find objects. And in the objects, if it's closed, you can open it. But you'll see this has that plane. See, it's the same thing. It's just called plane 001. Here's our plane 001. And we can open that up. And in there, we're going to find the modifier. Okay, so that's the modified object. So we're going to open that up. And there it is. There's that ripple that we were making. So that's this right here. Like I said, this is a very extensive bunch of this down here, but very extensive. And so we have different things that we can mess with. Let's go ahead and we're going to mess with the phase. That was this part right here that allowed you to just make the thing move. Now, to this phase, we can add what's called a controller. And, you know, you'll see as we go along with animations and stuff like that, controllers are something that we use from time to time to make things happen the way that we want them to. You'll see. So with this, I'm just going to go ahead and right click here. And you can see right down here under controllers, it says assign controller. And I'm going to just click on that. And the controller that I want is this audio float. So we're going to click on that. And we can say OK, or we could just double click. We get yet another dialog box. And this one says choose sound. So even though we put the sound into the timeline, it hasn't, that's not what this is using right now. So we got to actually put that in again. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose the sound. So here it says choose sound. And it should once again take me directly to that sounds folder. And if you've got it somewhere else, just navigate to wherever you have that sound. Okay, and so I'm going to do that same sound, that beats 2. I'll just double click that, and then there it is. So you have some various controls here. And so right here, this is the max. You can see that that's controlling that up and down. It's going to show like how much it will move. And you've also got one for the minimum that it will do. Okay, so that looks pretty groovy. How about right about there? It's a good place to start. And so what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to play my animation, see what happens. That's pretty cool. I can adjust it on the fly if I want. Maybe to make it a little bit less.
Purchase your tracks today.
Maybe a little bit more this way. We'll bring it down And then I can also adjust it in here still as well. I think here, let's try this decay right down here. Oh yeah, that kind of mellowed it out a little bit, didn't it? I like that. Okay, so that's pretty cool. The other thing I could do is, even though it's got this helper that's linking it to the sound file here, I can still add keyframes to it. Watch this. I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to move this back to 0. Alright, and so in this track view, we're in this phase, that's all good. We're not going to do anything else in here, so I'm going to go ahead and just close that up. And go all the way back up here to where I had my waveforms. And that's really kind of cool. And let me see, remember I told you this area was grayed out? I'm going to go ahead and expand that a little bit, because I got that magnifying glass. And I could move it over, and I could expand it. So you can see, you could also use your wheel, by the way, but you can see that I am just, here's 0, here's 600. So this is going to match here. You'll see the cursor move here. See how those are going to go, and it's just matching my timeline down there perfect. And that's why I like to have this up here. Because, here, check this out. This is what we can do. We can click on our auto key and move it a little bit. And we're going to move it to, we're going to time it to these beats, because that's a big part of editing with audio, is timing things, well, to the sound, of course. And so I'll just go to this first beat right here whenever there's a double beat, and I'll just maybe bring that up like that. Okay, so every time I get a double beat, oh wait, maybe, and then with this beat in between, I'm going to go down. Okay, and so then we've got that double beat right there, right? So then I'll go back up, and then we've got that single beat right there, and I'm going to go down. And I'll just keep doing that, right along in time with the music. Okay, so all good. And, we can do this, but boy, we can do all kinds of things, lightings and textures, and just pretty much 99% of the stuff on Macs is animatable, and so it's kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. And I'm going to take this back to the beginning, and let's see what it's looking like.
Purchase your tracks today.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. I don't know, it's a little crazy, but you don't want me to just mess around with this thing and mess around with it on a tutorial, so that's all good. And let's see, what else? That's about it. I think I'm going to go and now let's export it, because to finish this assignment, I don't want to see a max file. What I want to see is the end product. And so I'm going to go ahead and go to my render setup. And I'm going to do my active segments, 0 to 600. Okay, and I want it to be HDTV. And I want it to be that medium resolution. Okay, I want to create a file for it. So the file where you should be is in Art, so in the T drive, and then in Art, and then in whatever your class folder is. Okay, you'll see that we now have the Project 5 folder ready. So in there, you'll see Project 5 Sound Demo. And you're going to say, I'll just replace the one that I have here. All right, and so find the AVI file right here. And go ahead and say save. Okay, it's going to overwrite the file that I have here. That's fine. Yours should be brand new. And so from there, I think the only thing left to do is maybe check my safe frame. So I'm going to go Shift F, make sure that I'm looking pretty good. That's fine. And from there, turn off my auto key. Probably before I start rendering something, I'm going to go File and Save. I've already saved it as, right? So I'm going to say Save. And then just start to render. Yes, I do really want to overwrite it. And you can see it's starting to render.